Hello guys! Today we delve into the little-known gossip and secrets of Queen Victoria, including her indulgent eating habits and lively romantic life. Hello guys and welcome. If you would like to hear more historical gossip, then just click on that subscribe button. Now let's start today's video. Some called Queen Victoria her little majesty, yet she had quite the appetite, often indulging a bit too much. But Victoria's interests extended beyond just food. Following her wedding night with Prince Albert, she famously quipped that they didn't sleep much. She was known to enjoy intimate pleasures and passionate encounters beneath the covers. Victoria defied the societal norms of her time, particularly in her culinary preferences. Social reformer and Dr. Mary Ward Allen speculated that Victoria's penchant for spicy and stimulating foods might be linked to her equally unconventional practice of self-pleasure. To really understand this, let's take a peek into Victoria's childhood. As a kid, Victoria really enjoyed her food, but her family members were quite concerned about it. They felt she ate too quickly and should take more time with her meals and get more exercise. One relative even mentioned that as a teenager, Victoria tended to eat a bit too much and too quickly. But because of her worry, Victoria was put on a very strict diet where she could only eat certain foods like milk and bread. This made her determined to eat mutton every day when she got older. So when she finally reached adulthood, she happily treated herself to indulging in her favourite dish every day. One observer once remarked that Queen Victoria had a strong fondness for potatoes, enjoying them prepared in every possible way. Her dinners typically featured a variety of dishes such as soup, fish, cold chicken or roast beef, along with a selection of desserts, fruits and notably pineapple, a special treat grown specifically for the royal household. Victoria's meals also included seasonal vegetables, as she insisted on only serving foods that were in season. The Queen had a sweet tooth, and her wedding cake hinted at the delightful treats she enjoyed. Victoria had a hearty appetite and indulged in mulled wine, ice cream, cakes, and pastries. She adored a wide array of sweets, including chocolate sponges, wafers, biscuits, drop cakes, tablets, petite fours, princess cakes, rice cakes, pralines, almond treats, and assorted mixed sweets. Pies were also among her favourites, with cranberry tart topped with cream ranking high on her list of preferred dishes. On the other hand, Victoria opted for a simpler diet for her children, believing it was best for them. She served them plain meals like roasted meat or broth, which she deemed suitable for their nursery. Victoria was known to have a passion for both tea and whiskey. As she grew older, a nearby distillery close to Balmoral created a special whiskey just for her. She enjoyed it mixed with soda water as her preferred drink. Unfortunately, Victoria's passion for food and drink had a negative impact on her health. She gained a significant amount of weight, prompting a doctor in the 1840s to compare her to a barrel and warn that if she continued eating as she was, she would become excessively overweight. By the time Victoria reached her 60s, her BMI was 32, which by today's standards would classify her as obese. She had distanced herself from her cousins early on, and by them she was described as large, rosy-cheeked and overweight. Despite being advised to cut down on her eating, Victoria simply added diet foods to her already excessive diet. As mentioned, Victoria's eating habits didn't follow the typical expectations for women during her time. Back then, the prevailing standards and dietary advice for women emphasized the importance of refined table manners, which meant eating slowly and delicately without showing too much enjoyment. It was believed that women's digestion was delicate and required gentle, plain foods. Anything too flavorful or spicy was cautioned against, almost as if it were harmful. It all boils down to the perceived connection between what we eat and our behavior in the bedroom. The idea was that if someone consumed highly spicy and stimulating foods, it indicated a heightened enthusiasm for other physical pleasures. Mary Ward Allen, a social reformer and doctor of the time, believed that Queen Victoria's fondness for spicy foods was a result of her supposedly unnatural habit of masturbation. It was commonly believed that a woman's attitude towards food, particularly if she had a small appetite and didn't seem to care much about eating, reflected her moral character and helped her maintain a delicate and slender figure. Interestingly, Queen Victoria was rumoured to enjoy the intimate moments she shared with her husband, especially in bed. They tied the knot on February 10, 1840, and Victoria mentioned in her diary that their first night together wasn't exactly filled with sleep. Despite being advised to abstain from sex to avoid further pregnancies, Victoria was dismayed by the suggestion, although she felt that her 9 pregnancies did interfere with their married life. She and Albert also had a passion for collecting exotic artwork. Some scholars suggest that certain illnesses can trace their cultural origins back to Queen Victoria's reign. During the Victorian era, there was a belief that deviating from traditional eating habits was both unladylike and sexually provocative. In the 1890s, there were instances of young girls refusing to eat because they felt too fat or feared gaining weight, often influenced by their mother's comment. This aversion to food was seen as a way for women to distance themselves from their sexuality, demonstrating their propriety, refinement, and moral standing. If appetite were a voice, Victoria would be belting it out from the rooftops. As queen, she had the freedom to disregard many societal norms imposed on women. This empowered her to take charge of her diet and body, making her own choices and decisions. And you guys, were you aware of this secretive aspect of her little majesty? Let me know what gossip you've heard in the comments.